So being and acting is one of the most overlooked aspects of acting. We all know acting is doing. The reality and truthful doing presents our ability to be able to have expanded circumstances in our acting scenes. They're fantastic. And that's the reason why I usually call acting activities doings. But the most overlooked aspect of acting is actually the opposite. It's being. So the involvement of the doing actually comes when the concentration of your doing the activity is so deep that you're actually working at a level that you're actually really invested in it. That's when you really are going to, you kind of hit the level of the being side of work. You're doing the activity, but the emotions are activated. The, the, the nuances of the production of your own essence of feelings and your emotions, they're all getting activated with your being. And the most tried and tested thing to be able to learn how to do this thing that will separate you from many, many different people. And by the way, I'm Simon Blake. I've studied over 8,000 acting classes. Listening to these videos might help you so you don't have to go to as many acting classes. You can focus on what you're actually trying to do, focus on emotions. I run emotionalpreparation.com, a whole bunch of things. I have over 6 acting books. Look, being is one of these things that are going to separate you from other actors. There's just no question about it. The ability to, I've explained it like this in the past, the ability to relax into the stimulus. You're relaxing into that uncomfortable feeling. You're relaxing into the circumstance, the unknown, unpredictable circumstance. You're literally exercising your ability to be able to allow yourself to be within the confines and the expansions of the acting scenes. You throwing yourself over into life at that point, where you are literally allowing yourself to be whatever you are, and whatever comes from you, you're going to be able to respond with it. And it's really being work. There's no other way to describe it. There's 2 sides of acting. There's the doing side, which again, I'm saying it's fantastic. There's some fantastic lessons in the doing side, but there's also the being side. And if you're going to really catapult in films, in subtleties of emotion, if you're going to catapult within your career, it's a way, way, way higher level to be able to work rather than just trying to implement the stressful focus of getting something done. We want to be able to add the emotion. And when you start working with emotion and acting, you're going to have to take a look and understand that that means that your being is not only going to be involved in processes, including doing, including staying connected to the other actor, but there's going to be this ebb and flow, which requires there to be a being side of your work. You're literally putting yourself over into a relaxed state. Now, your talent will come out when you're in the being state of your acting and you literally throw yourself into receiving the other person. And when you receive the other person, then you're going to be connected to them in a way that is going to have an unfiltered and authentic response within your body and your soul and yourself, and you're going to be alive and awakened. And then what will happen is that you will just start to transcend whatever the circumstances, and literally will feel like your acting scene's floating. That's the sensation I could describe. When you're working in this way, you are literally feeling like you're floating on a cloud a little bit, but in a good way, grounded and very authentic, because you're literally, it's an element of trust and faith. You are exercising your actor's faith to be able to go into your trust levels of yourself, that you're willing to trust the other actor at least just enough to be able to fully take them in. And possibly more, it depends on the scene. And when you're throwing yourself into the being side of it, you're throwing yourself into your work at a level where the work itself is going to decide its depth level. You might start with one emotion, regret or shame or guilt, or maybe you've come to into the scene with an apology, or maybe which would be fine. That would all be great work. and then you basically throw yourself over to the responses of the other actor. That's the being side of acting. This isn't the doing side of acting. This is the being side of acting. Now, many times I've seen over and over and over actors. I've seen been less than 10 feet away from watching actors do preparation after preparation after preparation, and 8,000 classes is a lot of work, and it's incredible because a lot of times actors will try and find the emotion. They'll try and commit to the doing of the emotion instead of committing to the being of the emotion. When you commit to the being of the emotion, now you commit yourself into your imaginary circumstance. Some people call it given circumstance. You just get yourself activated, working to be able to get yourself fully invested by receiving is the best way for me to be able to explain it. Because look, many actors, they think that acting's doing, and it is, and I understand that there's an aspect of doing and acting that's fantastic. But if you're implementing your will or your desire or your emotion on another actor and it's not in the script, it's going to look a little bit off kilter within your project. And that's like that every single time. You'll hear people say, oh, well, that actor seemed a little bit egotistical in this scene, or there was something that was off balance, and maybe the audience doesn't even know what that was. And that was because the actor had their focus on trying to implement the range of emotion on the other actor rather than just experiencing what the other actor actually did to them. Now, that is an incredible lesson to learn in acting. This is what's going to make you transcend. When I say transcend, I'm not literally, you will leap forward into the interaction of the acting interaction in your acting scene. This will catapult you through any nerves that you have, because now your nerves is not only your problem. Your nerves, your acting nerves, is now the problem of you and the other actor. So you're both in it together, and the more that you're connected to be able to receive them, then you're going to be able to make the adjustments that you're receiving off of them. See, this all comes from the concept of being. Being is going to do so much for your work. Look, I've just written this book, Emotional Preparation. There's 3 volumes to it. It's fantastic. And I literally go through over 700 different emotions that you all need to work on to be able to work on your acting. Look, most actors work only on 2 or 3 or maybe a dozen emotions, but there's well over 700 really, really, really good acting emotions, and I've identified them. I have those in those book series, and this is what I'm talking about. As you take the list of and the work of activating your emotion, you've got to personally activate your emotion. Now, your personal activation could come from a daydream. It could come from a wish. It could come from something that's a reality that has happened to you in the past. It could literally come from a dream. Whatever you're able to do to get yourself activated with that emotional realm, and you feel that activation being visceral and real, now you've started to activate your being. Now, the only way to get your emotion interactive with the other actor is to be able to throw yourself over from a doing state into a being state. And the being state is going to be the receptive state. So when you look at this and you think, oh, well, we're going to go and, commit to acting's doing, and then you go and get an emotion. And then you're trying to make sure that you're controlling the scene because you're trying to control the emotional range of the scene. Look, I have no idea. I could literally step into a scene where I'm about to make an apology with somebody, and then all of a sudden, they resist the apology. Or maybe I make an apology and all of a sudden they accept the apology, and all of a sudden a nuance of emotional colors just come out of this, and incredible relationship type desires or all sorts of different emotional colors could come from that. And that would be exploring the richness of the scene, because you were willing to be able to literally know that acting's doing, but the reality is that you were willing to throw yourself over into your vulnerable side. And when you throw yourself into the vulnerable side, you're throwing yourself into the reality of being. And the being is that the other actor makes you do what you do, that the other actor's feelings affect you because you're connected and you're listening to them. You're able to receive them, and then you've got these incredible things that will happen, and you will see, and this is absolutely factual, where people will be taken. The footage will go into the editors bays, and then the editors will say, "Well, we want to stay on this actor rather than this actor, even though the other actor is saying the lines, because the one actor is listening so well and receiving the other actors so well." And this is comes from the concept of being. So look, ask me some questions. I'll be able to answer them when I get them and stuff. So thanks a lot. This is Simon Blake. Thanks.